Crown Princess Leonor and Christian's marriage stuns Europe, a royal union to remember. The world thought it would never happen. Two young royals from different nations. Two families divided by history, tradition, and destiny. Yet, against every expectation, Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark did the impossible. They didn't just fall in love. They changed the course of European royalty forever. It began quietly. No one noticed at first. Two heirs, both born into the spotlight, both trained from birth to lead. Leonor, the disciplined, future Queen of Spain. Christian, Denmark's calm and charismatic prince. Their paths crossed at a royal gathering years ago, a brief encounter that seemed ordinary, yet history would later call it destiny. At that event, amid the glitter and diplomacy, something subtle happened. A look, a shared smile, a moment too brief for cameras to catch, yet powerful enough to stay in their minds. It was not love at first sight, but recognition, two souls carrying the same weight of expectation. Both understood what it meant to live for a nation while longing to live for themselves. The years that followed only deepened their connection. Whenever royal duties brought them together, whispers followed. There were glances at state dinners, brief conversations at official visits, and those fleeting moments when their eyes met across crowded rooms filled with kings, queens, and cameras. The world saw the pageantry. They saw each other. But royal love is never simple. Behind the palace walls, tension grew. Advisors warned against emotional entanglements. Diplomats whispered about the political consequences. Could Spain and Denmark truly merge their royal bloodlines without conflict? The Spanish court, bound by centuries of tradition, was cautious. Denmark, known for its modern monarchy, feared the media storm such a union would bring. And yet, despite every barrier, Leonor and Christian's bond grew. It was quiet, hidden, built on letters, shared confidences, and mutual understanding. Leonor once said in private, "In him, I see the kind of freedom I've always wanted." Christian once told his mother, "She understands the silence behind the crown." By the time the public began to speculate, their love had already survived years of secrecy and scrutiny. Every royal event became a coded dance of glances and gestures. Social media noticed. Clips of them standing too close, smiling too long, spread like wildfire. Still, neither confirmed anything. The silence made the story louder. Then came the turning point, the summer retreat in Majorca. The royal families gathered for tradition, but that year, cameras caught something different. Leonor and Christian walking side by side along the coast, speaking softly, smiling easily, as if the rest of the world had disappeared. That single image became the spark. Rumors transformed into belief. And then, it happened. The official statement that no one expected but everyone hoped for. Their Royal Highnesses, Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark, are delighted to announce their engagement. The words struck like thunder across Europe. Within minutes, headlines exploded in every language. Spain rejoiced. Denmark celebrated. The world paused to witness a modern royal miracle. The engagement was more than a personal union, it was symbolic. Two future monarchs, choosing love in an age of protocol. The press called it, the union of Europe's future. Royals from across the continent sent congratulations. Queen Margrethe and King Felipe issued a rare joint statement, calling the engagement, a bond of friendship and faith between two nations. Preparations began immediately. The wedding was planned with precision and passion, blending the elegance of Spain with the grace of Denmark. It was to be held in Copenhagen's Grand Cathedral, where history and faith converged. Designers from both countries collaborated on the attire. Spain's gold embroidery met Denmark's minimalist beauty. Even the floral arrangements told a story: red roses from Madrid, white tulips from Copenhagen, woven together as one. The day of the wedding dawned bright, with sunlight glinting off palace roofs and bells echoing through the streets. Crowds lined the roads, waving both Spanish and Danish flags. Children sang songs of unity. News anchors around the world called it the royal moment of the century. Inside the cathedral, the atmosphere was electric yet reverent. Royal families, presidents, dignitaries, all waited in hushed anticipation. When the doors opened and Princess Leonor appeared, the entire audience rose to their feet. She moved with calm grace, her gown a masterpiece of tradition and symbolism. The veil, crafted from silk woven in Spain, bore the intertwined crests of both nations. Prince Christian stood at the altar, dressed in ceremonial uniform, his expression full of pride and emotion. When their eyes met, time seemed to stop. The crowd saw royalty. They saw love. The ceremony began, and each vow carried the weight of history. Leonor's voice trembled only once, as she said, "I promise to stand with you, not as a queen, not as a princess, but as your equal." Christian smiled and replied, "And I promise to protect your heart before I protect any crown." The cathedral fell silent. Then came applause, spontaneous and overwhelming. Even the choirs paused in awe. For a brief, perfect moment, centuries of royal distance melted away into something human and true. Outside, the cheers of the crowd filled the air. As the newly married couple stepped out, hand in hand, the world erupted. Flags waved. Bells rang from Madrid to Copenhagen. It wasn't just a celebration, it was history unfolding. That evening, during the grand banquet, emotion overflowed. King Felipe raised his glass, his voice unsteady. "Today, I do not lose a daughter," he said. "I gain a son, and Europe gains hope." Queen Letitia's eyes shimmered with pride. Queen Mary of Denmark followed, saying, "This marriage reminds us that love is not bound by borders but strengthened by them." Music filled the hall, a blend of Spanish guitar and Danish harp. The newlyweds danced their first dance beneath a canopy of intertwined flags and soft candlelight. The crowd watched in silence as the two future monarchs moved in perfect harmony. It wasn't rehearsed, it was real. Outside, fireworks illuminated the night sky, painting it in royal colors. Every burst seemed to echo one word: unity. The world watched in wonder, feeling something beyond royalty, a connection that reached into the hearts of ordinary people. As the night grew deeper, Leonor and Christian stood on the balcony, overlooking the sea of people below. They waved, smiling, radiant, humble. For a moment, they weren't just the heirs to two thrones, they were symbols of a new Europe, one united by compassion, courage, and love. In the days that followed, reactions poured in from across the world. Newspapers hailed the marriage as the rebirth of European royalty. Social media flooded with clips of the ceremony. Fans cried, cheered, celebrated. Analysts spoke of the diplomatic harmony the marriage would bring. But beyond the politics, what touched people most was how genuine it all felt. Two young leaders choosing each other not for power, but for love. Their honeymoon remained private, but insiders described it as peaceful and deeply symbolic. They visited historical sites tied to both nations, cathedrals, castles, and schools where young people dreamed of a future beyond divisions. Leonor reportedly said, "Our love belongs to the people. We serve them together now." Months later, as they returned to their royal duties, their presence together carried a quiet strength. Every public appearance was met with applause. Every shared glance reminded Europe that even in the world of crowns and duty, humanity endures. Leonor launched new initiatives for youth leadership and education, while Christian focused on environmental diplomacy. Together, they became a team of purpose and progress. The world saw them as more than a royal couple, they became icons of renewal. A new generation of monarchy built not on hierarchy, but on harmony. Their story reminded millions that tradition and change could coexist. Years from now, historians will remember that day in Copenhagen as more than a wedding. It will be remembered as the day Europe believed in love again. A moment when two young royals stood before the world and proved that the greatest power a crown can hold is the courage to follow one's heart. Their marriage didn't just stun Europe, it softened it. It reminded the world that even among palaces, cameras, and crowns, true love still has the final word. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian, two hearts, two nations, one destiny. A royal union that Europe will remember forever. The end.